Okay, hold on for 1 second. Let me just check something. Okay. All right. Let's just this out. Can you hear me okay? Those who are attending, leave a comment. All right. Let me know if you can hear me. I'm just going to go through and let me double check a few of the settings for everything. All right. Sometimes the audio, we have to check the sound quality with everything. Let's see if we can go into. Okay, Sandra, you can hear me. Good. That is great. Perfect. Thank you. All right. I'm just trying to double check all the settings. Let me go to the overhead view for just a moment. Okay, now let me know if you can hear the keyboard as well. All right. Let me come back here to the front view for a moment. Okay. So you couldn't hear that? Okay. Let me just double check some settings with that. Hold on for one moment. I think what I may need to do, let me try a few different settings. Here. Okay, we're just going to stay with this setting for the time being. Hopefully you can still hear me speaking. Can everyone hear me? This is the default speaker. So we have, let's see. Now let's try something. Can you still hear me speaking now? Okay. Okay. So, can you still hear me speaking now? Let's try that. We're just going to test a few settings. And now, what I want to do is I'm going to try this overhead. Okay. Hopefully you can hear that. So you could hear me speaking, Sandra. Could you hear me playing the keyboard? So could you hear both the speaking and the keyboard, I guess is what I'm asking. But we're going to get started with the speaking, even if the keyboard is not giving off sound for right now. I'm excited to have everyone attending. we're going to be talking about getting started with my Cool Song series. So you couldn't hear the keyboard. Okay, we're going to have to test that and try that. We're going to be talking about working with my Cool Songs series, but also we're going to be talking about my Essential Piano Exercise series. So we have essential piano exercises, essential jazz piano exercises. We have essential new age piano exercises, essential pop piano exercises. We're going to be talking about all of these different series. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by going to my website and talking a little bit about this. Let me go to the website for a second. So this is my website, musicmotivation.com. So for those of you who have never seen my website or visited my website is called musicmotivation.com. Now, as you go to the website, what I'd like to have you do, and I'm going to show you a few different things on the website. My company is called Music Motivation, and I like to focus on teaching music theory, improvisation, and composition. I was classically trained. I'm as comfortable playing Rachmaninoff and Liszt and Chopin as I am playing jazz and blues and pop and rock and funk and different styles. So I love having different styles of music. And I love composing in different styles of music. Now, let's go to the website for a second. I'm going to scroll down. This is just on the home page, musicmotivation.com. And it talks about learning cool songs and essential piano exercises. You can see right here, it says learn music theory, improvisation, and composition from Jerald Simon with his cool songs and essential piano exercises. And then it says Jerald Simon composes cool songs and creates essential piano exercises that help piano students and piano teachers better learn music theory, improvisation, and composition the fun way through practical application and piano fundamentals, and also how to teach it for the piano teachers. He helps piano students and piano teachers learn theory therapy, innovative improvisation, and creative composition. Jerald helps piano students achieve their musical goals on their individual musical journey from absolute beginners up through advanced professionals by using his Music Motivation Mentorship Map. This is an outline that guides students on their musical journey from the apprentice stage to the maestro stage and ultimately continuing on to the virtuoso stage and beyond. He helps piano teachers worldwide teach better by creating the best piano teaching resources featuring 40-plus best-selling piano and motivational self-help books, individual piano sheet music, albums, courses, YouTube piano tutorials, and weekly online live group piano lessons for piano students and piano teachers. If you are a piano teacher and you want to improve and learn more about music theory, how to improvise and arrange piano music, and even compose music of your own, please allow Jerald the opportunity to teach you how to be a music mentor and become an essential piano teacher. This is kind of what we're going to be talking about today. We have over 10,000 piano teachers around the world who are using the cool songs and essential piano exercises. Now, as I scroll down, you can listen to, this is actually not my latest album, but this is close to my latest album. My latest album is Platinum, and I'm going to share that with you here in a minute. But you can go through and learn about these different products and books that I create. Today, we're going to be primarily talking about essential piano exercises and the cool songs. So to get started, I want to talk about the cool songs, and we're going to go to the cool songs page. If you just click where it says cool songs or I need Jerald's cool songs series on the home page, it will then take you to this page right here. Now, this is actually, and let me come back over here. This is the cool songs page where I talk about the different cool songs that I've composed. Let me come back to the front view here for a moment. Okay. So this cool song series that we're going to be talking about today, in the cool song series, we have primer level, book 1, book 2, book 3, cool songs that rock book 1, cool songs that rock book 2, and this book, almost every book has 21 original cool songs. Now, what we're going to be talking about, I have, and let me go back to this page again, right here. As we look at this, and this talks about learning cool songs, you can see right here, as I'm kind of showing you this page, well, we have cool songs beginner level, early intermediate, and intermediate level. I refer to it as the apprentice stage, the maestro stage, and the virtuoso stage. These 3 books right here, I actually haven't created the physical copy of these books yet. But each of these 3 books, Cool Songs beginner level has 17 cool songs, and same with the intermediate, and then the Cool Songs intermediate level on the far right here has 50 cool songs. All 3 of these top books right here have complete orchestrations of the cool songs. I'm going to show those to you here in a minute. These books down here, we have 21 cool songs, 21 cool songs, 21 cool songs, and then this has 10 cool songs in book 3, and then Cool Songs That Rock book 1 has 7 cool songs. Those books don't have any orchestrations yet, any background accompaniment minus tracks. I'm actually going to be composing those this week, starting this week, starting next week actually. We're coming out with the minus tracks for 1 to 2 of these cool songs every single week. So let me just go through and break these cool songs down. Currently, there are over 163 cool songs in the series. We start from primer level and we go all the way up through advanced level. Again, I refer to it as the apprentice stage for the beginning level. The maestro stage is the early intermediate level, and the virtuoso stage is the late intermediate to advanced level. Now you can watch a video that explains and talks about it. Right here, it talks about what is inside this course. And I'm really not, even though I love sales, I'm not really much of a salesman, because I like to have the product speak for itself, and I'm not going to give you some big pitch at the end. I'll tell you up front that this right here, if you want to buy it, and it even says right here at the top, let's see. As you scroll down, it says how much it is right here if you wanted to buy this. Right here, it's a one-time payment of $29.95. That's a single-use license. You get all of those. If you want to do a studio license, then it's $169 for all of my books, all of my courses, everything I've created. And we'll talk about that at the end. Today, I'm doing it for $100 for everyone if you want to get the studio license for all my books. But let me show you this right here. We're going to go through and I'm going to show you in this Cool Song series, we have pre-recorded video lessons where I'm teaching all of these cool songs from the top 3 books. Again, I don't have the video lessons for these because I need to go through and create the minus tracks. But as we go down, I'm just going to show you how it's broken up. We have the apprentice stage. The apprentice stage, we have cool songs, beginner level, 17 cool songs, and then we have the 21 cool songs from Cool Songs for Cool Kids primer level book. That is the beginning level. Now, the maestro stage is the early intermediate level. We have 16 cool songs in this book. We have 21 cool songs in book 1 and 21 cool songs in book 2. Down here in the virtuoso stage, this is the intermediate to advanced level. We have 50 cool songs in this book, and then we have 10 cool songs in this book, and then we have 7 cool songs in book 1. Now, the apprentice stage, each of these titles, you can actually click on each of these titles to listen to how the music sounds. Again, this is musicmotivation.com/learn-about-cool songs. You can just type in musicmotivation.com/cool songs and get there, or just go to musicmotivation.com, and on the homepage you can click. Oh, sorry, my finger slipped. I'll share that with you in just a second. Let me go back. We will stop sharing that for a moment. Hold on. Let me get out of that for a second. Okay, I'll come back here. My finger slipped and I hit the wrong one. I don't want to do that. So let me come back and I'll share that screen again. Okay, so we're on cool songs right here. Now, what I want you to notice, and if you have any questions along the way, I can see those who have been typing. You can type any questions that you may have about the cool songs. But let me show you this. Here we have Attack, Dolphins Play Every Day, On Safari, The Eastern Eclipse, Gamer, Wonderland. Here you can see samples of these cool songs. Now, with each of these, okay, again, these are the ones that are contained in this book right here. Well, you can listen to the minus track. Here, you can actually watch a video that has the music. And if you click on this, it will take you to a page where you can watch all of the videos for all of the cool songs. But if we, as an example, look at Attack right here, okay, you can see this is a primer level piece, primarily just focusing on C, D, E, F, and G. It's the C major pentascale. And it's something simple for the students to play along with. But I like to tell students the cool songs, they were composed during piano students' lessons because I actually had, at one time, I had almost 100 piano students. And the reason why I had so many piano students, these were one-on-one piano students, not group piano lessons. I was teaching 10 to 13-hour days, Monday through Saturday. And most of these kids were teenage boys who said they hated the piano and they wanted to quit. And so their teachers would send them to me and said, we don't want him to quit. We want you to motivate him. I guess that's what I get for having a company called Music Motivation. And so I started composing music during their lesson. They wouldn't play from any book. At the time, YouTube was just barely starting. I mean, this is back, 2005, 2006. And they wouldn't listen to songs on iTunes or anything. So I was trying to help motivate them. And I said, I'll compose a song during your lesson. You tell me the style, you tell me the genre, you tell me what key signature you want or what notes you want me to play, and then I'll compose the song. And I told them during your lesson, I will actually compose the music, I will notate the music, and then I'll print it off. And then I'll share it with you, okay? So, and again, any comments or questions you have, feel free to leave a comment or a question. But let me show you this as an example. So here we have Attack. Hopefully you can hear that. Let me know if you can hear that. Now, it's like playing with a really cool metronome because they have the drums, and I have these pieces at performance speed. I have it at practice tempo, where the students can play along with the music at different speeds. So we have the gamer, party. This is all primer, beginner level. Here is the gamer as an example.
Hello and welcome.
Good. Thank you, Sandra.
Game over.
So just fun, different pieces to have the students, and they get progressively more advanced. Each of the books, I wanted the books to be progressive, where they start out a little more simple, easy, and then they get more challenging as you go along. But I like to teach the music theory. Below the title, I always include the theory concept they're learning. Here with Party, you can see the skill is a C major pentascale, C, D, E, F, and G. And then I even give a challenge sometimes. Try composing your own composition. The left hand is just playing whole notes, So I tell them, if you want to try to compose something like this, just play whole notes with the left hand. But this is Party. Listen to this one. Now, again, this is just primer beginner level, okay? Each of these, as we go through, and you can look at this, they all become more difficult as we go on. This is Cool Songs for Cool Kids primer level. Now, this book, I haven't recorded. Well, actually, I have recorded almost all of the minus tracks for this one. I just haven't released these yet. So these ones I'll be coming out with first, and then we'll start coming out with the second and, primer level book 1, book 2, book 3. Here are some examples as I'll kind of zoom in so you can see. I have the minus tracks. I just don't have them actually finalized and finished that you can hear them yet. But each of these will have minus tracks as well. Now, here we have the unicorn that got away. Again, I like to teach the music theory. I love teaching music theory, and I want students to really understand the theory concepts. So that's why with my Essential Piano Exercise series, I really encourage them to know all of their scales in every key, all of the intervals. Intervals are the building blocks of music theory. And then I want them to learn the intervals, both harmonic and melodic. Once they understand what a perfect fifth interval is, and they can play it either as a melodic fifth, which C to G broken apart, that's an ostinato pattern, or if they play it as a perfect fifth, as a harmonic, they're playing it blocked. Well, once they understand intervals, then they can start learning about chords. And then we can learn how to play major, minor, diminished, augmented, sus4, sus2, the major 6, major 7th, minor, major 7th, the dominant 7th, minor 7, flat 5, minor 7, sharp 5, diminished 7th. We can get them into each of the chords, but they understand how the chords are used and how you can play them in root position, first inversion, second inversion, third inversion, if you have a 4-note chord. So each of these pieces, as you look at this right here is the unicorn that got away. Now, the unicorn that got away, and I'm trying to zoom in, but this right here, you can see the skill we're trying to help them understand about different dynamic markings. It's a simple piece. If you're near a piano and you can read that, you can try to play along, but the left hand is playing a perfect fifth interval. It's harmonic, okay? It's not broken apart, and they're just holding that down. Now, this is a primer book. I start brand new piano students off playing this book. And it's great to have them play through these pieces. This, I intentionally have the right hand playing a C major pentascale, C, D, E, F, and G, but I want the pieces to sound really big and challenging, and I want the pieces to sound bigger than they actually are. So if you look at this, starting in measure 5, I just take the right hand up an octave, and I intentionally do that to show them, A, how they can understand what the ottava symbol is, 8VA, but they just learn how to take the right hand up an octave, even though they haven't learned those notes up high yet. And then in measure 9, we have the 15 MA, the 2-octave register. So they're taking the right hand up 2 octaves, but again, they're still just playing in a C major pentascale position. I have had usually with my own studio, I usually teach ages 12 and up. I like to teach a lot of teens and adults. The youngest student I've ever taught was 3, which I don't really recommend. And the oldest student I've ever taught was 93, almost 94. He actually passed away before he reached his 94th birthday, but he took lessons all the way up until he passed away. And I like to have students quickly advance on the piano. And I'm sure you're the same way. I want them to quickly be able to move. So you can see we have a lot of fun different pieces that have different styles, different challenges, okay? And you can go through and you can listen to these. Right here, as you scroll down, we have the maestro stage. And then we start getting into pieces that are a little more challenging. As an example, you can see with Sonic, look at the rhythm. Now, Sonic is actually, I put this into a new book I just came out with called Platinum. So Sonic is, and this is my latest album and my latest book, Platinum, but I did put that cool song in here, and it's just a fun, cool song that students can play along with. But let me have you listen to this as an example. I'll push play right here. Okay, I'll stop that. We've got a lot of different songs and different styles, different songs, and it's fun for the students to hear these different sounds and to perform these pieces with the minus tracks. They can play at a recital, they can play at a school talent show, and it's fun for the students to play along with the minus track. Here we have Good Times. So you can see we have a lot of different styles. Here's Spook as an example. And that goes on. That I combined that into a book and an album called Ghosts and Goblins and Freaks and Ghouls. Now, all of these, again, they have accompaniment minus tracks, and you can go through, you can buy the books individually as a PDF book from my website. You can have your students buy the books individually. The biggest benefit or bang for the buck is actually to go to this page on my website and pay $29.95 for lifetime access to everything. You can buy each individual PDF book, and I believe it's $5.95 or $6.95 for the PDF book. You can buy the paperback book on Amazon for all of these books, and you can have the physical copy or the individual copy. You can buy individual sheet music as well on the website. So on my website, musicmotivation.com, you can go through and scroll through and find all the different music, but you can see we have just with this series alone. Now I have over 40 books. Just with this series, we have over 160 cool songs that I've composed. In total, I think I have over 400 pieces on the website, different styles of music, hymn arrangements, cinematic score style music, classical style. I have a lot of different style, new age music. Down here, you can see this is Cool Songs for Cool Kids Book 1. And we have 21 cool songs in this. Again, I don't have the minus tracks for this one yet. Okay, by the end of the year, we'll have all of these with the minus track, but you can look at these. Here, I'll zoom in for you. Okay, Thunderstorm, Spy Games, Game Over. Here we have 5 for 5. Okay, I'm just going to quickly go through some of these. You can spend more time going through these. Cool Songs for Cool Kids Book 2. Again, we have 21 cool songs in this book. And I don't have the minus tracks for these ones, but they'll be coming out by the end of the year. We'll have all of these with minus tracks as well. Tick-Tock, Click and Clock, Wishful Thinking. We have Smooth Sailing right here. And ordinarily, I'd play these for you with the keyboard so you can hear them, but you can just look at it and you can actually visit the website and play these as well. We've got the Virtuoso stage. We have 50 cool songs in this book. And again, these are more intermediate to advanced level. We have When Sharks Attack. We have Hybrid Hero, The Labyrinth, Boulevard. I just showed you some of the 50. You can click to listen to all of these. If you click on this, it will have you listen to the MP3 file. But as an example, here is when sharks attack. Okay, listen to this one for a second. Okay, just fun different sounds. Again, here we have Hybrid Hero. Now, Hybrid Hero, I included in my new book, Platinum. Okay, Hybrid Hero, this is what it sounds like. So kind of fun different examples. What is so fun about this, and Tiffany had just asked, very cool, do you have clips of students playing these? Just curious. I have clips of some students playing some of these. I don't have clips of students playing all of these, in part because I haven't filmed all of the students playing all of these, but also because I have so many cool songs that I've had students perform all of these and play these with the Midas tracks. I just haven't filmed every single one, but it'd be fun to, I would love to have, I've had teachers who have sent me recordings. I haven't asked for permission to share those recordings, but they've sent me recordings of their students performing these with the Midas tracks at their piano recitals or at a school talent show. I had one student who, and this is a different book. Again, I have over 40 books, but I have a book called Triumphant that has 10 original triumphant sounding pieces. And I had one of my students that she, as a high school student, she was invited back to the White House, Washington, D.C. And she sent me a message and she called me and said, hey, is it okay if I perform Triumphant with the Midas track at the White House? And I said, okay. I thought, what are you? And she said, well, I've been asked to play. This was back when Barack Obama was the president. She said, I've been asked to play at a gala event for Barack Obama. And I was wondering if you can send me the Midas track for Triumphant, so then I can go ahead and perform that. And I said, sure. So she actually performed triumphant at the White House for Barack Obama, which is kind of an interesting experience, kind of cool. What a neat opportunity for her to do. But with my own students, I will have students who will play these at their high school talent shows or for family or friends. And it's just so fun. What I've started doing now, and I did it with my book, and I'll get out of this here in a second. Okay. All of these, and you can go through and you can listen to all of these different cool songs. Okay. We have cool songs, book 3. And then here you can see, and again, these get more and more challenging and more difficult as we go on. You look at Discord here. Okay. So we have some very advanced pieces. But what I have started doing is initially on the website, you can actually download all of the PDFs. And so you have the PDFs and you have the MP3s, and then you have the music videos that you can watch and the lessons with me teaching as well. But something else that you can do, and this is what I just barely started doing. Let me actually I'll go back to the home page for a second and I'll show you. Okay, if I go back to the home page of my website, again, this is musicmotivation.com. What I have started doing is this. As you scroll down, do you see how it says you can listen to my latest album? And it's on Spotify, Pandora, iTunes, Amazon. You can listen on any site. Well, what I have done is I've started creating minus tracks of all of these, and I've put them on Spotify, Pandora, iTunes, Amazon. So what you can do, and this is actually a fun thing to do. I'll open my Spotify as an example, and I'll show you what I mean. I'm going to go to my page right here, and then I'll share this screen with you so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so let's come back in here. You'll be able to use not just the downloaded MP3s, but you can actually just go onto Spotify or Pandora, iTunes, Amazon, and you can actually play the minus track that the students can then play along with. I'll show you what I mean. I'm going to, we'll stop sharing that for a second while I open up a new screen right here. We're going to open up this. All right. Can you see that? That is my Spotify page. And again, you can go to Spotify, Pandora, iTunes, Amazon. You can listen to any of my songs. Okay. So here, as an example, it has popular releases, albums, singles. If I go under, I'm just going to hit show all. Here's Effortless. Okay. Now, this is from my book, Essential Pop Piano Exercises, in my Essential Piano Exercise series. And so I have the minus track version where students the piano part has been removed. Here I have Platinum. This is my latest one. Adventure Awaits. That's another book I have. I Believe God Has a Plan for Me. Here is Effortless right here with the piano part. So if I were to play on this as an example, let's say I play Renegade. Now, can you hear that okay? Hopefully you can hear that. So this is Renegade with the piano. Now, if I wanted to, I could go to the minus track version right here. And the minus track version, the piano part has been removed. So you see the piano part has been removed, so students could then go ahead and they can play with the minus track. They can perform and they add the piano part. And so later today, I'll play with the piano and I'll show you what and it's really fun to have students playing along. I have several students working out of this book right now, and they're practicing and trying to get better and better that they can play along with the minus track, and it's fun for them. It's a challenge at first, especially this is advanced when you get to this level. Okay, if I go back to my website as an example, I'm going to go back to musicmotivation.com. So remember how I said cool songs, essential piano exercises? If I click on the essential piano exercises, now at any time you can go to the shop or the home page and you can buy any of the books individually. So as an example, on the home page, if I scroll down on the home page, you'll see that it has the essential piano exercise. You can buy that as a standalone. You can buy the cool songs as a standalone, or customer for life, that's for non-piano teachers. Essential piano teachers, that's for piano teachers. This is the lifetime studio license of all of my books, all of my courses. And again, the price is $169.95 for life. And you have lifetime access to everything I've ever created, I'm creating, or will create in the future. So that includes all of my future books as well. But then you can also choose free music, single PDFs, PDF books, the links to all of my books on Amazon, all of my spiral bound books. You can go through individual spiral bound books, my poetry motivation series. I have an Empowered by Positivity 8-week course, individual piano lessons, online group piano lessons, piano teacher mentoring. I have a lot of different things, but if you are a lifetime piano teacher, then you get access to all of the courses and all of the music, everything that I've created. So it's fun for the students to kind of work on that. But let me go back to the essential piano exercises for a second. I'll just come back up here and I'm going to click on this. So now we're on the essential piano exercises. All right. And again, if you have any questions, please let me know. But this is where it explains about essential piano exercises. And I didn't explain, with over 100 and, almost 170 cool songs, I couldn't really go through and explain in depth about the cool songs. You can go do that on your own. But here, these are, right now we have 5 books in my Essential Piano Exercise series. We have Essential Piano Exercises, 100 left-hand patterns every piano player should know. We have Essential Jazz Piano Exercises, Essential New Age Piano Exercises, Essential Pop Piano Exercises. Right now, I'm finishing 5 more books in the series. I'm coming out with Essential Rock Piano Exercises every piano player should know. I'm coming out with 100 chord progressions every piano player should know. I'm coming out with Essential Fake Book Fundamentals every piano player should know. And I have 2 more titles. So in total, I have about 15 to 20 more books in this series that I'll be coming out with. That will be fun to help teach the teachers on. And here it says we've had over 50,000 copies sold worldwide. Each of these books were actually #1 new releases on Amazon. And all of these books have stayed in the top 50 best-selling music theory books on Amazon or in the top 100. And they still are to this day. And so that's fun. It's great. You can listen to testimonials from piano teachers, students. I've got a lot of different things on here. On each of these, I explain about the books and give kind of a summary. The main focus of 100 left-hand patterns every piano player should know, it's essentially 2 books in one. I have 100 left-hand patterns to teach students fun left-hand patterns, how to play with a fake book or a lead sheet, or how to take music as it is and start to embellish and arrange. So the entire point of this book is to present 100 left-hand patterns that I've created and then 100 songs in fake book format. And so you can do both, okay? Right down here, here are some sample pages from the book. We have basic left-hand patterns, jazz, blues, boogie-woogie left-hand patterns, new age, contemporary, and then we have 100 songs in fake book format that students can then start to play around with. And the point is how you can take the same song and play it 100 different ways. That is the goal, to teach students how I like to challenge them to play the same song 100 different ways in all key signatures in every inversion. So it's a fun way to embellish and take Twinkle Twinkle Little Star and play it as a 50s rock or jazz, blues, pop. Play it as a new age piece. You can ask yourself, how would Bon Jovi play it? How would Bruno Mars play it? Okay. Whoever the artist is, how would Chopin, Rachmaninoff? And then you can adapt to that style. Essential piano exercises, 288 pages in this book, all different left-hand patterns. We have major pentascales, we have intervals, we have scales in every key. We have the most common chords. So, and again, it explains more about this essential jazz piano exercises every piano player should know. This has actually 30 original jazz compositions that I've created. And then we have all different jazz exercises in the book. You can go through essential new age piano exercises, 154 pages. This has 20 original new age piano pieces that I've composed. And again, each of these pieces that are found in each of these books, you can listen to on Spotify or Pandora or iTunes or Amazon. Here we have essential pop piano exercises, 262 pages. And then you can see the samples. Here are some samples from the book that you can look at. And then I've created music videos for each of these. So you can actually go through and watch the music videos that I've created for each of the pieces, and you can listen to them on Spotify, Pandora, iTunes. Here's Renegade as an example. Since I just played Renegade. And it's kind of fun for the students to have a video, Boulevard. I want it to sound kind of video game-ish, but also with cars. So, and it's fun, different pieces, Void. And each video has a theme. This is more, showcasing dancers and it's fun. Void, actually, it's a duet. So it has two separate piano parts. And we have a Castle Rock, piano camp that they do here in St. George. And I've been one of the teachers, the presenters past several years. And it was fun because Mark Gubler, another local piano teacher, he and I actually did a duet performance where we each were on a piano and we performed that for the students. And it was really fun for the students to see and then have them start practicing. And so there's a lot. And again, you can dive in and you can check everything out on the website. There's a lot in here. We have, courses. So, again, I'll have you go through and you can check everything out. Right here, you can buy just the PDF series for $25.95. You can buy each individual PDF book for $9.95, but it's a much better deal just to buy the entire series for the $25.95. I try to give everyone the biggest bang for the buck. but you can just fill out your information. On the website, you can buy everything here. Again, I have all of these as physical books as well. You can buy the paperback. You can buy the spiral bound book. Chesbro Music is a distributor. They're my distributor. They distribute all the music books to music stores. If your music store is not yet carrying my books, they can start selling the physical copy of my books, the spiral bound versions. But you can buy the paperback. It's actually, if you buy the paperback on Amazon, it's cheaper to buy the paperback on Amazon. And then usually you can get it within a day or two, especially if you're a Prime member of Amazon. And then what happens is, I tell people, if you just buy the paperback book on Amazon and then take it into your local print company and pay $2 or $3 to get the spiral binding put on, it actually is faster getting the book that way. You can still buy the spiral bound copy, but it's faster doing it that way. So that's something that you can do. Now, the Cool Song series and the Essential Piano Exercise, again, we go from primer level up through advanced, but it's all about helping piano students learn more about music theory, learn more about composition. In my book, 100 Left-Hand Patterns Every Piano Player Should Know, they can go through, and what I tell them to do is, we have 5 different genres or styles of left-hand patterns. We have basic left-hand patterns. We have jazz, blues, boogie-woogie left-hand patterns, where I explain what the left-hand pattern is, and then I include the fingering, and I talk about what the theory is that I use to create that left-hand pattern. Then we go into pop and rock left-hand patterns, where the students can, after we go through the jazz, blues, boogie-woogie, then we have pop and rock left-hand patterns that the students can learn. These are all with the left hand, which is why the book is titled 100 Left-Hand Patterns Every Piano Player Should Know. And then we have New Age and Contemporary left-hand patterns that the students can learn. Again, many of these are classical left-hand patterns. And then we talk about practical application, how we can take a simple piece like Twinkle Twinkle Little Star and start to play around, how you can modify it. The entire point of this book, and I said, remember, it's 2 books in one. You have the left-hand patterns, and then you have the fun fake book. Well, the fun fake book has 100 songs in fake book format. We have section 1, children's songs, section 2, American folk songs, patriotic songs, section 3, Christmas music, section 4, classical music, section 5, gospel, spirituals, and religious music. Well, right here on this page, I actually say the following. Try playing all 100 of these songs 100 different ways using the 100 left-hand patterns found on the previous pages. Even better, think of other left-hand patterns of your own and see what you can do. You can also try playing each of these songs in every key signature as well, 100 different ways. Now, we have all of the songs in this book are in fake book format, where we have just the right hand melody with the chords above, and then you fake it. That's what a fake book is, a lead sheet. You can use the left-hand patterns. In my new book, Essential Fake Book Fundamentals Every Piano Player Should Know, I teach people how to, what I like to call as the 5 phases of playing from a fake book. Most people, I've even had advanced piano students, they'll buy this book and they'll see all of these pieces, and we have 5 different sections, okay? They can go to the children's song section, they can go to the Christmas section, the American folk patriotic music section, but they'll see the music and they'll say, oh, this is a children's book because it's easy. And I tell them, if it's easy, it's because you don't know how to arrange. There are 5 phases, and I'm in my book, Essential Fake Book Fundamentals Every Piano Player Should Know, we go over these 5 phases of playing from a fake book. First phase is where you play the right hand melody as it is, and then the left hand just plays the note or the octave interval or perfect fifth interval, if you want, of the chord that is written above. So if it has a C above the measure, your left hand would play a C octave interval, and the right hand is just playing the melody. That's phase 1. Phase 2 is a little more challenging. Phase 2 is where your right hand is going to play the melody and your left hand is going to play the chord. So now you're going to play the chord that is written above the measure. If it says C, you play a C major chord. If it says G, you play a G major or A minor or whatever it may be. And then phase 3, things get much more challenging. Now you're going to play an octave interval with the left hand, but the right hand is going to play both the melody and the harmony. So I tell everyone, starting with phase 3, your right hand plays the melody with the pinky, and then you put the chords underneath. And that's how you start to embellish it. Phase 4 is where you continue playing the chord below the melody with the right hand, and then the left hand starts playing one of these left hand patterns. So you're embellishing the left hand. Phase 5 is where you embellish the right hand and the left hand while still playing the melody with the pinky and the harmony, the chord underneath. So if I play the C major chord, but right here there's a G, then that means C major would be in root position. If it goes up to a C note and we have a C major chord, that means I'm playing the C major chord in first inversion. So it's really fun. The more advanced you become, then you can take something that looks simple, like this, a lead sheet or a fake book, and you can then play this with all 6th chords, or all 7th chords, or all 9th chords, or all 11th chords. You can embellish it however you'd like. Then what you can do is you can go above and beyond that, and then I say, how would it sound if you took it into a different key signature? Go up half a step. Play the song in every key, moving up half a step, with the left hand playing a boogie-woogie left-hand walking bass pattern, where you have the C, E, G, A, the broken C6th chord with the minor 7th interval on top, which is a B flat, C, E, G, A, B flat, but you're playing them as octave intervals now, C, C, E, E, G, G, A, B flat, and then the right hand is playing the melody and the harmony. And so it's fun to have the students start to take these examples, same thing. Here's my essential jazz piano exercise book. And again, these are thick beasts of a book, but we go through and we have them start with simple jazz pieces that I've composed. And then we have practical application where they start applying the theory. How do you take the chords and start playing with the chords? How do you take the modes? Here we have 7th chords. And we start doing modal jazz and we talk about Ionian. I usually tell students a simple way to memorize the modes is I don't play like my Aunt Louise. It's just a simple phrase that I came up with years ago when I came out with a book called, the book is out of print now. We're going to do a different variation of the book. I combined a lot of it in this book, but it was teaching about the modes, an introduction to scales and modes. And with this, let's see if I can go to right here. We talk about the 251. This is a page from the book that I had created years ago, an introduction to scales and modes, where we talk about how to learn the modes. I don't play like my Aunt Louise. Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixolydian, Aeolian, and Locrian. And we talk about how to take any song, not just into any key signature, but you can play every song in any mode. So I can play Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star in the key of C in Ionian mode, or in the key of C in Dorian mode, or I can play it in Phrygian, Lydian, Mixolydian, Aeolian, Locrian. And so it's fun to help students really understand jazz and how to play around with jazz. And we do the same thing with my book, Essential Pop Piano Exercises and Essential New Age Piano Exercises, teaching the students how to play New Age through original New Age pieces that I've composed. This book has 20 original New Age pieces. And the way the books are designed is I teach music theory concepts. So the students learn, here we have basic triads, moving up according to the C major scale. So they learn how to play the major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished, major. And then we start talking about how you start inverting those. And then you create a New Age piece. We talk about a left-hand pattern, a 1-5-8 left-hand pattern, or a 1-5-8-9-10 left-hand pattern. Those are New Age left-hand patterns. And we talk about how you can use those to create New Age music. And then they play the New Age piece and they can listen to it on Spotify, Pandora, iTunes, Amazon. And it's fun because I start teaching them how to compose their own music. Again, it's teaching them the theory therapy, teaching them innovative improvisation, teaching them creative composition. I want them to be able to play anything they read, that they can sit down and they can play any music. But I tell students all the time, just playing the music as it is and being able to sit down and play any music, that's great, but that's just the starting point. That's not the finish line. That's not where you want to end up. That's starting out. Can you take the piece that you've learned and change styles? Can you change key signatures? Can you take something that someone else has composed and maybe turn it into a jazz piece or a rock or a new age? Or how can you make it your own? And I tell students, I want you to learn how to play it as it is, but then I want you to learn how to play around with the piece. And that is what is so fun, is taking the music theory, and I refer to it as the practical application of music theory. It's simple. It's not very difficult, but it's something that everyone can go through and work on. Let me go back to my website just for a moment. Okay, now I'm going to come back up here and I'll go to the home page for the website right there. Okay, let me quickly come over here for a moment. Give me 1 second. I am just trying to. All right. So right here, what I'm going to do, let's see. Okay. All right. So if you go to the shop, right here, all piano teachers will always get a 10% discount on everything that they've purchased from my website. You can enter piano teacher and you will get a 10% discount when checking out. All piano students can also receive a 10% discount by entering piano student as the code when you check out. And right here, you can see these are the 4 best-selling products that we have. And then it goes down and you can click on any of these. If you just want to purchase the PDF book, here's the PDF books. Here we have all of my poetry books. And then we have, I do a lot of motivation self-help books. So I have a lot of poetry, motivation, self-help books that I write. And then here we have Cool Songs Primer Level, Book 1, Book 2, Book 3, Cool Songs That Rock. And you can just go through and buy each of these as individual PDF books. These are single-use licenses. So you can buy each individual book. Here we have Wintertide, Castles in the Sky, Peace and Serenity, Sweet Melancholy. There's the Triumphant I told you about, Sea Fever, Adventure Awaits, Platinum, I Want to Do What Jesus Taught, Hymns of Exaltation, Ghosts and Goblins and Freaks and Ghouls, Scales and Modes, Jazzed About 4th of July, Jazzed About Christmas, Jingle Those Bells, Mary Had a Little Lamb. Here's a goal book for students. So you can see we've got a lot of books, a lot of music, but it's fun to have the students work on these. Now, you can go through and buy these. On my blog, I have different resources. You can learn more. When you click on the piano teachers, if you do want to purchase the lifetime studio license, right here, it says it's $169.97. This week, if you'd like, you can send me a message. You can send me a message here, or you can send me a message on the website, and I can give you the code that you can enter where it will take off. It actually, I guess it's not $100. It just takes off $50 this week is what we're doing. So it takes off $50, and I can give you a code for that if you want to become one of our essential piano teachers for the lifetime studio license. But I'd love to hear from you. Let me know what you'd like to find out. Every week I'm coming out with new cool songs that I compose. Now for the next few months, what I'm going to be doing is actually working on the minus tracks for my Cool Song series because I still need to get those minus tracks. Some I've already created, some I'm trying to revamp, but we have, again, the primer level, book 1, book 2, book 3, Cool Songs That Rock, book 1, Cool Songs That Rock, book 2. And so I'm going to go through and do all of those. Here we have Cool Songs That Rock, book 2. And you can see all the different, most of these in book 2 and book 3 are 2 to 3 pages long. And we have 21 cool songs with all of these. And I need to orchestrate all of them, all different styles, all different genres. These were all composed during piano students' lessons, where I told them I would compose the music and then I would notate the music, put it down on paper for them. Here's Cool Songs for Cool Kids, book 3 as an example. And so we have all of these different cool songs that the students can work on. Again, primer level starts right at if I go into the primer level, you can see with the primer level, we have very simple pieces right here. Let me go back to actually Unicorn That Got Away that we had talked about. See that unicorn that got away right there? Now it's fun for the students to start just with these simple pieces and then they can gradually get more advanced. And we have cool piano exercises that they work on as well. So I would love to have you visit my website. You can learn more on the website, but let me know if you have any questions. Please feel free to send me an email. My email is Jerald Simon. That's JeraldSimon at musicmotivation.com. You can find all of my contact info on my website, musicmotivation.com. But let me know if you have any questions. We have over 10,000 piano teachers worldwide who are using the cool songs and the essential piano exercises, and I love hearing the feedback from them. I love every day I receive emails and testimonials from piano teachers and piano students thanking me for creating fun, cool-sounding music. How they became known as cool songs is that when I would ask the students, I would compose the music for them, and I would send it home with them. As an example, the Cool Songs Book 1, okay? All of these, as I mentioned, were composed during piano students' lessons, but I would tell the student, here's one called Game Over. If you see that one right there, Game Over. Well, that was composed during a piano student's lesson. And he folded his arms and said he hates the piano and said he doesn't want to play. And so in trying to help these students have an enjoyable piano experience, because I didn't want them to quit and their former piano teachers didn't want them to quit, that's why I started composing the music. And this one is hilarious, okay? Because during his lesson, I said, I'll compose something for you. And he thought it was a game. And he said, okay. And I said, whatever you want. You tell me the style. And he said, I want something in the key of C. And I said, okay. And he said, I only like video game music. And I said, video game music? And then he said, I only want you to use these notes. And he said, you can only use 4 notes on the piano. And he went to the piano and he played C, A flat, F, and G. And I said, you've got to be kidding. Come on, you got to give me more than that. And he said, okay, I'll give you one more note. And he played C, A flat, F, G, and then he played B. And I said, and you want this to sound good? And he said, but I only want to play 2 notes with the right hand. I mean, I really let these kids kind of walk all over me. And so I said, okay, let's compose this. And so during his 30-minute lesson, I composed Game Over. And I said, well, with the left hand, we will play C, A flat, F, and G with the left hand. And I'll change the rhythm a bit. And then with the right hand, we'll do C and G. But I said, I'll throw in that B. And then he said, but you can only use B 4 times in the entire piece. And I said, you have got to be kidding. And so I played it and I composed it for him. And then what I did is I would compose it and then I would notate it, put it down Back then I used Finale. Now I've switched over to Dorco. That's another saga story. But so I actually composed it, notated it, sent it home with him. And then the next day his mom called and said, "What did you do during piano lessons?" And I thought, oh no, here we go. And she said, "I can't get him off the piano. He just keeps playing this song over and over again." And of course it was game over. And the next week when he came back to his piano lesson, see, my only rule was I will compose the music, but you need to play what I compose and you need to work on it during the week. And so I sent it home with him. Not only did he work on it, but he perfected it and he performed it for all of his friends and his family and his neighbors. And next week, when he showed up, he actually performed the piece for me and it was amazing. He did a phenomenal job. And he also brought a friend with him to piano lessons who wanted to start playing this cool music. And all of the students, I would ask them what they thought of the music after they played it, and they all would tell me, it sounds really cool. It sounds like music that I hear on the radio. And so they became known as cool songs. So I'd love to have you check these out. Let me know if you have any questions. Please feel free to reach out to me. But I would love to have you learn more about my cool songs and my essential piano exercises. They're fun pieces that I've composed to help teach music theory, improvisation, and composition. Again, I focus on theory therapy, innovative improvisation, and creative composition to help music students progress and improve and learn the practical application of music theory. And that's what I want you to really focus on. That's what I hope you will work on as well. As piano teachers, we can do so much to educate and inspire and encourage the rising generation, that we can help them learn music theory. But it's not just learning about the scales and the chords, it's what you can do with them, how you can play them in every key, how you can play around with them, and how you can create and compose. So check out the website, musicmotivation.com. Let me know if you have any questions. Again, feel free to send me an email, Jerald Simon at musicmotivation.com. My contact info is on the website. And if you'd like to take advantage of the $50 off discount that we're doing, it's just this week. We're only doing it for this week. It will be for either the Essential Piano Teacher Lifetime Studio License or the Customer for Life. So those two will receive a $50 off, but the rest of the music, we don't have a discount on it, except for you can enter to get the 10% off discount for either a piano teacher that we had talked about or a piano student. So you can use those discount codes. But let me know if you have any questions. That's all I wanted to talk about today. I need to get ready. I'm going to have teachers coming at 11 to my home, and we're going to do a live session where I'm talking with them and answering questions for those teachers who live here in the St. George area. And then I'll demonstrate and talk about everything, and they can see me actually playing the music as I'm playing along with the minus track. And so it'll be fun. But let me know if you have any questions about anything. I appreciate it. I look forward to hearing from you. I love the feedback and the response. I love getting to know you when I do workshops and seminars and concerts and performances. It's so fun connecting with you and meeting you. And then I love hearing about students who are using my books, who are performing or their successes and what they've learned as they've been progressing on the piano. So let me know if you have any questions, but I appreciate it. Thanks again for everyone who attended this live lesson. I appreciate it. See you later. Thanks. Bye.